Nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try. Working 7 to 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of The Working Lunch. My name is Michaela Tucker Davis, and I represent Mass Hire Central Career Centers. And here today I have with me someone that is brand new. There is no Jeff Turgeon today, so I have Jeff's twin brother.
And I'm Jeff Turgeon. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm Bruce Mendelson, Resource Development Coordinator for Mass Hire. Happy to be involved in a lot of the youth initiatives that we're doing here through Mass Hire and through the Workforce Board. Jeff couldn't be here because he was indisposed, so he called for the junior varsity.
JV team pulling up the rear. Here we go. So how have you been, Bruce? Thank you for joining me and stepping in for Jeff. But how have you been? What's new with you?
Yeah, it's great. I'm excited. Winter's coming. It was cold this morning. I'm getting ready to go skiing.
So you love the winter. See, a lot of other people would disagree. And here you are on national TV telling everybody that you're excited to bring on the snow.
Oh, this is national TV? I didn't really realize
I like to think that way because when you think big, you get bigger, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to hold myself to a little goldfish tank. I'm going to think a little bit bigger and say it's national TV. Hopefully our viewers will go up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really excited, though. I mean, I love the change of seasons here, when the leaves change and it gets a little cooler in the mornings, although I don't like how the days are shorter.
Yeah, and it gets a lot darker earlier too.
I got this light box.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, what is the light box? I've never heard of that.
It's for seasonal. I don't have seasonal affective disorder, but a lot of people have it.
Okay.
Right? It's a real affliction.
I've heard of that, though. You're right.
And I bought this light box, which after I go home from work, right? I turn on the light box for a half hour, and it's extended sunshine.
That is actually really cool.
It's kind of like you, extended sunshine.
Thank you. See, you're definitely going to be a permanent replacement. Jeff, on the other hand, I think the last show he tried to tell me I look like a librarian. I don't know if it was an insult or a compliment, but if studious is the way I look, then studious is the way I'll go. But you're skiing. Do you go to Mount Wachusett? Is that where you typically ski at?
Yeah, in fact, I don't typically ski there, but we run a program with Worcester Public Schools South High School.
Nice.
At Wachusett every Wednesday, and that's starting January 3rd. And that's really kind of fun. I'm going to talk about that, I guess, in a little while.
Yeah.
But I normally ski in southern Vermont. This winter, I'm actually going to go out to Colorado with a couple friends. Yeah. So I really like the winter, and I'm kind of glad I moved here. I moved from Washington, D.C., where we don't have much of a winter. So, yeah, it's good. And, well, I'm talking all about me. Why don't you tell me what's up with you? Your daughter's playing flag football.
She is playing flag, so she's very active. And the other thing is she's joining the ski club at school. So that's why I was trying to pick your brain a little bit, because I am not a ski mom, but I guess I will be in a couple of weeks. So I need some tips once we touch base on that a little bit later. I'm going to have to pick your brain about that.
Wachusett's a great place.
How to survive the ski season.
You know, Wachusett has a STEM education program.
Really?
Yeah.
For the kids?
Yeah, for the kids. And they talk about how they make snow, the science of making snow. Yeah. They talk about environmental education, environmental justice, water conservation.
That's really cool.
It's like a whole set of modules.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
so not only can they go and ski, but they can learn about the process and how that mountain runs, because a lot of people actually go there. That's the one thing I notice, it's always packed through the winter season.
Right.
So, but that's pretty cool.
Right. And another fun ski fact. One more ski fact for you. Ski Ward was the first in Shrewsbury was the first mountain in North America to open for skiing.
No way.
Yep.
In Shrewsbury, Massachusetts.
They have a snowmaking system that allows them to blow snow in up to 76-degree Fahrenheit weather.
See? That's called thinking big. Who would know that about Shrewsbury? That's pretty cool to know. So on your side of the house, work-related, are you running any new programs? Is there anything going on at the board? What's up and coming? What's hot? I know you guys do great training programs. I'm always sending job seekers upstairs and referring them to your programs. So what else do you guys have up and coming?
Right. I wanted to just talk, before I talk a little about the programs, I just wanted to take a moment to remember Carl Hens Belliard. He was a North High School graduate who was killed last night at Salem State University. And he was on North's state championship winning basketball team. And this is kind of another example of really this senseless gun violence that we have nationwide. And it's really sad.
No, that is sad.
So I just wanted to take a moment, away from the levity and send our thoughts and prayers out to his family and to North and to the entire Worcester Public School system.
Yeah, that was a great stopping point to do
Yeah.
that, and we send our condolences.
So thanks. So, all right, so back to some training. So let's see, we're offering training in our high priority industry areas. So we have this work plan that says, okay, what are the high priority industries that we're trying to fill jobs in central Massachusetts? CDL is one of them, so commercial driver's license, huge demand for CDLA, which are the big rigs,
Yep.
and CDLB, which are like the Amazon, the smaller trucks.
Yep.
And then, and of course, with that is the school bus driver training. And Worcester Public Schools, a couple other public school districts in the area are hiring. Worcester Public Schools, in fact, offers salary at $30 an hour.
Wow, that's
with
a
full
great
benefits.
starting rate with full benefits. Now, are these
Yeah.
part-time, full-time hours?
Most of them are part-time, so
Yeah.
like 25 hours a week, but you can always get some extra time, riding, doing details, I guess.
Okay, like overtime, kind of picking up
Right.
shifts or stuff like
Right.
that. And how long is this training program, and are they?
That's 6 weeks.
Okay.
To get the CDLB is 6 weeks. To get the CDLA is somewhat longer, and there's some age requirements and some other restrictions on
Yep.
that. But those are really good programs, and those are in high priority areas, and employers are hiring in that field right now. There's also pharmacy tech.
Yep.
And that's through our partners at the Fieldstone School and also QCC in Mount Wachusett. Entry-level healthcare positions, a huge need for that. Clinical medical assisting. Let's see, and there are 2 other programs that we don't offer, but we're affiliated with the institutions that are offering. There's Worcester Public School Nightlife, which is
Great
offering
programming, especially during hours that are accommodating to people that are currently working but still want to go back to school and get some type of training. But I've heard about the nightlife programming, so yeah, that's also a great opportunity.
Now they're offering a carpentry program, which is OJT. Right.
Oh, on-the-job training,
Yeah.
meaning they're going to get the on-the-job, hands-on experience while they're working. Now, are they paid while they're doing their OJT as well?
Yeah, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, they're paid while they're doing that, and they also have entree to a possible union job,
Oh, nice.
right?
Nice.
Which is another one of those benefits. And again, like the average age of these plumbers, these folks in the trades is getting up there. It's the upper 40s, low 50s, and so you may not necessarily need to go to college, a 4-year college. You can go get your trade. You can get your trade certification, and start making money immediately.
I think when we went to the event last week, the youth summit or symposium that we went to, there was a young man that talked about we need more plumbers.
That's
The age is getting up there, and he was the only one in his class. He was the only one that kept showing up. So I think that it's great that we have these opportunities out there and getting them to the youth, so that way we can start replacing, and getting more people into the industry, because he pointed out that, there's not a lot of plumbers, not a lot of people that do that type of work, and that they're looking to build that field. So that's a great point to bring that up.
Carpenters,
Carpenters,
masons, HVAC,
Yep.
electrical, right? I mean, these are potentially lucrative careers
Career pathways,
that
yes.
you can do for a long time, and you're not going to get out of college with $100,000 in debt, right? So
Right.
there's that, and there's
Right.
also this national grid. Speaking of electricity, there's also this national grid training program, and this one is also free, and the one at Worcester Public School Nightlife is free. So you're getting paid to train, and then you get out and you're trained, and you can possibly join the union and get a job.
Yep.
Really good opportunities there,
Yeah.
and we're pleased to offer those through the board and through the Career Center, and our counselors at the Career Center also are aware of these, so that when you come into our offices, you got an array of options that you can pick from.
And I think that's what the biggest takeaway is, that they do have these options. They can figure it out. That's why I always kind of promote our Career Center and what we do, because if you're not sure, you can always come to the Career Center and get an assessment, right? Through like Mass CIS or Interest Profiler that can help you kind of figure out those next steps, and then we can kind of connect you to the programming.
Right. One thing I found is that a lot of people don't know all of the resources that we have. And
Yeah.
it's hard because we invest most of our money in training and in serving our customers, not necessarily in advertising.
Right. We are the advertisement.
Right, so here we are.
So if you're out there watching, take this ad and share it with a friend, because that's how it gets spread around a lot faster, is by word of mouth.
Right, so 2 more things. So another one is November is American Indian Heritage Month, and we want to recognize the members of our First Nations.
Absolutely.
And then the second thing is our grand reopening of our
Yes.
Career Center,
I'm
right across
excited.
the street from Hanover. 554 Main Street.
Come and join us, check out our new space. And I think with us being a little bit closer to City Hall, maybe people will start to recognize where we are a little bit easier. And we have a brand new sign outside.
Yep.
It's beautiful. So you guys will definitely know where we're at. And then come check out some of our resources, like we talked about. Because I think a lot of people don't know all the resources that we offer between the Career Center and the Workforce Board. A lot of people just think that we're the unemployment office. So when I tell them that we do a lot of like job readiness preparation, they're shocked to hear it. So I think by having our ribbon cutting, bringing in community partners, opening the doors to our new space, everybody can check it out, and I think they'll like it. I think it's a brand, I like the space a lot.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We're on the 4th floor. The board's on the 4th floor, and the Career Center's on the 3rd floor.
3rd floor, yep.
Yeah.
And we're all in one stop location. That's always the goal.
One big family.
Yeah.
Happy family. Well, family.
2 floors apart, but together in heart. You know what I'm saying?
Very good. Well, why don't you tell us about our guest today?
All right, so speaking of youth and some of the things that we help to empower our future, we do have 2 guests here joining us. And the first person that we have is Yaffa Fain. She's an Assistant Cultural Development Officer. And we also have Jeury Abreu, who is a Special Projects Manager through the Division of Youth Opportunities. Yes. Got that right?
Yeah.
So welcome, you guys. Thanks for joining us here on the Work and Lunch. So
Can I interrupt for one second?
Yes, you can. I like that you asked if you can interrupt.
Because Jeffy always just interrupts.
I didn't say it.
Yeah, all right. Well, it's okay. We love Jeff.
We do love Jeff.
And his hair. Oh,
Get
I
the
dropped
wig.
his hair. Right? I dropped his hair. Sorry about that. So, Yaffa, just one quick question. Your name.
Sure, yeah.
Can you tell us about your name?
Totally. So my name is a Hebrew word, which means beautiful in Hebrew, and my grandma's name was Belle, which is beautiful in French. So there's a Jewish tradition that you name loved ones after other loved ones.
Really?
So I'm named for my grandma.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that tradition a lot.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. And Jeury, I guess you don't have a similar story, huh?
I don't even know where it comes from.
That's okay. We love you too.
So can you tell us about the division that you currently work in? What is the Youth Opportunities Division, and what do you guys do? Just give us a brief overview.
So I'm in the Division of Youth Opportunities. Yaffa is in the Cultural Office. And we basically provide different opportunities for young people throughout the city. And we have a slew of different things going on at the moment. We have things like Youth Council, which we hire youth to talk about issues going on for youth in the city. And right now we're working on a proposal for the city manager for later on in this year. We have the Worcester Care for Kids, which is the babysitting certification program. That runs usually, it's all online, up to 60 participants at once. And then we have 2, we just finished one run of it, and we're going to have another one coming up, I think in a week or 2, and then we're going to have 3 or 4 during the spring as well.
That's the babysitter training.
Yes.
And how long does that?
So it's a 5-week program online, and at the end, the youth do get first aid and CPR certifications as well. So that's the only in-person part that will happen. They get a certification. They also get a $100 gift card, and they get a goodie bag for their babysitting.
And that's free.
Yes, yes. And this program came about because there was a lack of babysitting, and a lot of families were using their older youth to babysit their younger youth while the parents were out working. So it had created this issue. So we want to train these young people. It's for youth, I believe 11 to 14. I don't know why I said 4.
The youth babysit themselves.
But it's for youth 11 to 14, and yeah, it's free for everyone.
Can I just say I love that program because I've actually participated in hosting the resume writing and a cover letter workshop for them, and they're a lot younger than the target population I would work with in the Career Center. So I do 16 to 24, but it's so great to work with them, hear some of their responses. They're really already, you guys are doing a great job with whatever, the program that you're giving them, because when they come to me and they're learning about resume and cover letter, they're telling me some things that I've never even heard of before. So it's great to have them. Every cohort that I've participated in has been at least 20 to 25 kids, if not more than that. But they do a great job on camera. They're learning about the skills that they're gaining from the certification class and how to put it on a resume and how to build that work experience. And they're understanding that, hey, I do have skills right now and I can transfer these skills into something else. So it's just always great to talk to them, check in with them, help them with their resumes, and it's very it's powerful because a lot of these kids don't realize that they have skills yet, and then when you bring it to the forefront, they're like, oh wow, so I can do my cover letter and I can reach out to families. I'm like, absolutely, that just gives you a little bit more of a professional edge. So I think that is great, especially the CPR and the first aid certification. To have that at that age is awesome. And I remember back in the day, like the hospitals used to do it. So I think that you guys doing it online and making it accessible to everyone is great. So
Do you help them? Do you help the program graduates get jobs? Do people come to you, and do parents come to you and say, hey, we need a babysitter? And is it multilingual? I mean, do you serve neighborhoods all across the city?
So we do serve everyone across the city. It is 60 youth per cohort. That's our limit. But we do have multiple cohorts going on. It is not multilingual. We do have flyers in different languages, but the coordinators are both in English.
Okay.
But yes, we do have, just trying to think. Basically, we don't help them get jobs because they're under 14, and they have to be 14 and above to be able to work. We do have other opportunities for youth 14 and above through our summer programs, and then Create 508, which is with the cultural office that we work together to put that through.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk with Yaffa. Beautiful about Create 508.
yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I could share a little bit about the cultural office too.
Yes, can we get an overview? And then
Just
we'll
to
go
give
into
you all
that?
a
Yeah.
general sense for what's
Yes.
going on creatively. So the cultural office lives in City Hall on the 4th floor, and we're involved in a variety of programming and events and permitting. And then we also staff the Worcester Arts Council and the Worcester Cultural Coalition. So the Arts Council has a grant cycle that makes funding available from the Massachusetts Cultural Council to the wider community. So there's dozens of grantees that are doing creative work that might align with a lot of the things that you're seeing here. And then we also have the Worcester Cultural Coalition, which is a public-private partnership with the city and 80 different cultural institutions across Worcester County.
Wow.
So we have a ton of collaborative opportunities. We love working with the youth division. We love working with all the other city departments, and then also connecting with nonprofits and community members. And we're striving to make ourselves accessible. So please feel free to stop by and visit us.
Can you give us some examples of? Sorry.
No. I was just
Thank
passing
you.
the.
Can you give us a couple examples of like both? And this is for both of you, of your like the impact of your programs. And you don't have to mention names or specifics, but you can say, look, like with one participant we had this, or with one program we had this, because I think it's important to like put faces and examples to programs. Otherwise, they're just names on a piece of paper. Otherwise, they're just flyers. So can you personalize it for us?
Oh, I was happy to share a flyer and a story, actually. So we have a new flyer.
I'm so glad you asked.
On our flyers, we have a poet laureate program that's staffed from the culture office, where we offer the opportunity for creatives to be a voice and ambassador to our city and the poetry scene specifically. So right now we're in the process of selecting a new youth poet laureate. So we have an application through November 12th that's live right now. And the reason that reminds me of your question is we have Abreu Mejia, who is our current youth poet laureate, and he's the second youth poet laureate for Worcester after Amina Mohammed. And fun fact, she was the first youth poet laureate in the state of Massachusetts.
Yeah, I've heard of her. So
she's
yeah,
an amazing
yes,
young person. And so is Ace, Abreu, and Abreu was one of our participants in Create 508. So that was a good example of his role serving as a youth leader. Then he developed into an artist mentor, and he's also our poet laureate for the city. So
amazing. So this is somebody that you guys, or that we have nurtured.
And who nurtured our team in our
turned
programming.
around to give back.
And who has nurtured us.
And he has also worked in our summer program as well, so all through the city. Yeah.
So those are the examples that you're talking about, and
Yeah.
sometimes that information may not be on the flyer, but it's definitely making a big impact. The way that they're able to turn around and then reach back and try to lift up that next generation, and I think that's what is truly important. And what else do you guys do with like Create 508? Because I know you guys did an event over the summer, right? Color the City.
Yeah, we had Color the City Festival. So the Create 508 program was a collaboration that came out of both of our offices working
Nice.
together. And we piloted the program in summer 2021, and now we're going into our second year. So what was initially a summer program is now a year-round workforce readiness, creative workshop, skill building session, and the youth who are a part of that program develop Color the City festivals each summer. So that's a youth-driven festival led by young people, for young people, and the broader community, and it's hosted on the Common each August. So we just wrapped up a Color the City, and that was our third one for the year.
So that's kind of like a powwow Worcester for kids.
I was gonna say that. Like, is that like kind? I was gonna say that, Bruce. That's what I was literally thinking of in my head. Is like it's kind of similar. So do they have art pieces around the city right now?
The youth have done some art activations.
Okay.
I would say the last couple of years, the way that they've driven the festival has very much been around community engagement and performances.
Mm-hmm.
So they've had like 15 plus youth perform at each festival.
Wow.
And each time the young people are coming to this as maybe their first time performing publicly.
Mm-hmm.
That's another success story. We've had youth perform year after year and slowly become performers,
Artists.
folks who'd never picked up a microphone before.
Stepping out of their comfort zone and learning how to use that voice and spread it throughout the community. I think that's great too. I was like me and Jeff talk about this all the time. I went through WCAC and their youth programming when I was 14, and I worked with Ernie Floyd, and he was just here a couple shows ago, and he's like, I made you a star. I made you a star.
Yeah, you know, I kind of wish that I had a program like this. Otherwise, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be sitting here.
No, and it's hard for kids to like get away from the norm, do something different, get out of their comfort zone, and you know what I mean? So I think that's great that you're not only teaching them or giving them opportunities, but they're learning about public event organizing, working within the city, being able to come into City Hall, getting that experience at such a young age. I mean, look at me, it pays off in the long run. So I'm just saying, I think that type of programming is very beneficial in the long run.
And I also think, I understand that the mentors and the teachers that you guys have reflect the demographics that you serve. And I think it's very important for the young people to see those folks. So for example, and I say this because, I coach rugby at the Worcester Public Schools. And, we just got varsity status for the Worcester Public School Wildcats, which is great, 2 years. But, these guys don't necessarily need to see me. They need to see people who look like them,
Right.
so that they have models to look up towards. And I think that's one of those intangibles that's so important about these programs.
I think one of the goals for us too, this Create 508 program came out of feedback we heard from youth, specifically from a youth town hall, where they said that they wanted more space to access and be leaders and also drive what's happening in the city. So that level of empowerment and engagement, this was a direct response that we needed that programming for young people where they can be the leaders and drive the creative industry for Create 508, but for the other programming that we do too.
And I just want to add that we always try to be equitable throughout for all our programs. So we open it up for everybody to apply. We do have an interview process for people to get in, but we do. I wouldn't say that we have our artist mentors rose up to the ranks.
Even better. So they're familiar with the programs and everything.
Yes. So they were part of the program as artist leaders, like she said earlier, and they're now artist mentors. And we want to continue that way so that it's people that are familiar with what's going on, familiar with everything in Worcester, and also they came up through everything, so they know how everything runs from the smallest part to the top altogether.
So that kind of relieves you guys of a orientation or training burden. Now, you mentioned that you serve everyone. Do you have, so it's Worcester Public Schools, everybody in the central Massachusetts area, or, do you draw from?
So normally we advertise it to youth in Worcester, but we do take other youth that come out from outside of Worcester that are in the nearby towns as well. But it is meant for Worcester altogether.
Okay. Tell us, did you?
No, I was going to ask about your
upcoming,
event that
you have a college and career fair coming up.
So we have a college and career fair coming up in November 18th. It's going to be at the Worcester Public Library from 11 to 3 p.m. It is basically to show families what to expect, what to look for when they're looking for colleges. The whole, I'm going to say timeline. It is geared for students from 7th grade all the way to 12th grade. So anywhere you are in the process, you could come in. For example, one of the things that we're going to do is going to be, what are your top 5 things that when you're looking for a university? Are you looking for sports? Are you looking for an arts program? Are you looking for a business program? Are you looking for a university that's more quieter versus a university that's more in the city. So all of these things to help youth and families prepare from an early age while they're still in middle school. And then once they get into high school, they'll be able to know, like, all right, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, and these universities are going to be part of it. We're also going to be talking about everything that has to do with financial aid. We're going to have a student panel as well that we're going to be asking questions, and we're going to encourage the public to ask questions to them as well about their experiences and everything that they have going on altogether.
You know, I found that when I ask the young men and women who I coach to give some input, their input is really good, and I've incorporated a lot of it. So they want more leadership opportunities. Okay, so we'll have a captain, we'll have an ambassador, we'll have a welcoming committee, right? And I say, okay, you're on it. Do what you need to do. Tell me what your plan is. And I just think that they're so much more sophisticated than I was at their age,
Right,
you know.
yeah.
And I think it's because a lot in part because of what you guys do.
Now, how do kids have to sign up for this fair, or they can just show up? It's just open to the public. Can the parents participate? Like, will you guys have things for parents?
Yeah, it's open to all families. It's free. We're hoping everybody and their grandmother
Absolutely.
shows up.
Yeah.
So basically, we want the whole family because we want everybody to go through this and remember it. We're hoping to make this a yearly thing as well.
Yes.
So, we're advertising it for everybody to come.
Fantastic.
Yeah, financial aid.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness, that is like a big one. And I know Mass Edco, they do a really great job, and I think they're going to be there as well with breaking down financial aid award packages, understanding it, so that way students have a better idea of like, okay, I might want to go to QCC and do some basic level classes at first until I truly figure out what I'm looking for in a campus. Well, I wish somebody told me that when I was coming
Yeah,
up,
it's really
because
true.
student loans and paying them off in the long run, and then a lot of kids change. So I like that you guys are opening that up on a Saturday at the Worcester Public Library. They have a great space in there. I know you guys are going to do workshops and things like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually attending. So
Oh, no kidding.
I might just bring my grandma too. How about that? She's always trying to follow
That way
me
she
around.
won't call you.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe if I just take her with me a little bit more. But my next question would be, how do students or parents get involved? Like, what is the best way to contact you guys? How can we find out about this program? Because I know you guys do things year round outside of just Recreation Worcester, which is a hit in the summertime with people getting jobs at local parks, which is great because I always see the kids out there. How would one get involved? What would be the first step? How do they reach out?
So for Create 508, as of right now, for the fall, I don't know.
I was going to say, so we are currently a full cohort for the fall, but we'll be reapplying and opening applications in the spring. So we'll
A full
have,
court is how many?
we have funding for 10 to 15.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it depends on the season, so that can ebb and flow and increase.
And do they go to a website? What's the URL, or do
It would be excellent to check out the city website. So we have a landing page for Create 508 there, and they can find more information. And then we also post on social media, on DYO's social media pages. We use the city's socials and the Worcester Cultural Coalition as well for more creative happenings.
do you guys have a TikTok dance?
No, not yet.
What?
That's a goal.
Come
One
on.
day.
I know you guys, you guys should definitely have one with some of your youth.
That's got to be
We're
a
gonna be
deliverable.
looking
Now that
forward
we
to
heard
And
a
Create
demand for
508,
it.
that's
Right.
got to be a
Now
deliverable, right?
Bruce, do you have one?
Do I have TikTok? No.
Do you have a TikTok dance?
No.
Okay, so now you got to challenge Bruce and have him step up his game a
You
little
could
bit.
you could do our first one.
I
Yeah,
can do
you
it?
can be a part
yeah,
of it.
I feel a little under pressure here.
Hey, well,
It was self-inflicted.
yeah, it definitely was. That's a good point.
All right,
Well,
Yaffa,
thank
this
you.
is your last time on the working lunch, all
I
right?
do want to mention real quick
Yep.
on you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook. It's Worcester_DYL. We do post
Nice.
anything that has to do with opportunities for youth within the city. Different organizations send us things, and we always try to promote it and put it out there.
I will definitely look for
Fantastic.
that
That's great.
page.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you, Bruce, as well.
And thanks for all your work.
Yes,
Right,
and everything that you
without
do.
folks like you, we don't have as many opportunities for the young men and women in this area and in their city, and that what you guys do is
It's great. Yeah.
amazing.
Amazing.
Really admire it. So thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you for having us.
Thanks
Yeah.
for spreading the word.
Yeah, no
All right,
problem.
got it.
So, once again, we have Yaffa Fain from the Cultural Development Office, and we have Jeury Abreu from the Division of Youth Opportunities. And thank you guys again for joining us for another episode of the.
Working lunch.
All right, if you didn't get that, I was gonna have to fire you.
Thanks,
That was
Michaela.
great.
Get it if you try.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's a little discussion.
7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. Talking about a bunch of shit.